Hello everyone. I hope you must have gone through the previous videos and understood about the various account holders that were discussed so far. I've already discussed with you about minors, Hindu undivided family, and partnership firms. Now in this video, I'm going to discuss with you about joint stock company. Now let's start with the definition of joint stock company. Previously, we had the Companies Act 1956, which defined a joint stock company as a company formed and registered under the Companies Act 1956 or an existing company. You can either use this definition or you can use the definition of company as given in the Companies Act 2013. Now let's discuss about the features. The features of a joint stock company is firstly, it is an artificial legal person. What is meant by artificial legal person? It means that the company is not a human being. It has been created by law and therefore is an artificial person which is legally created. The second feature of a company is that it is a separate entity distinct from its members. In other words, irrespective of the number of members and the nature of members, the company continues to exist as a separate entity. So even if members come and go, the company continues to stay. So it is not dependent on the members, unlike a sole proprietary concern or a partnership firm, where if the sole proprietor is has died or the partners have died or retired from the firm, then the concern gets dissolved and a new concern comes into existence. But in the case of companies, it does not matter whether the members leave and go, they die. So irrespective of that, it remains. So therefore, we tell that a company is a separate entity and it is different from its members or distinct from its members. The existence of the members or the non-existence of the members does not impact the company. The third feature of a company is that it has got a perpetual succession. That means it goes on forever. And the fourth feature is that it has a common seal. So the company carries out transactions using the common seal. That's the identity of the company. Now let's understand what is the reason for which a company is formed and how did its origin come about. Now, the joint stock company has come into existence more because of the disadvantages of proprietary type of organizations and partnership type of organizations. Now, what are the disadvantages of proprietary type of organizations and partnership type of organizations? These two type of organizations have got limitations with respect to their resources. They have less amount of resources with them. Similarly, they have unlimited liability and they do not run continuously like that of a company. So therefore, to avoid the disadvantages of proprietary concerns and partnership concerns, the joint stock companies emerged. Now, there are different types of companies which are in existence. You have the public companies, private companies, government companies, non government companies, holding companies, subsidiary companies, companies limited by shares, companies limited by guarantee, companies with unlimited liability, foreign company, multinational companies, one man company, Section 25 companies, statutory companies, chartered companies, registered companies, and illegal associations or companies. Now, each of these different types of companies have got their own different features. Let me talk to you majorly about public companies and private companies. Now, you would have studied in corporate administration about these type of companies. Public companies are those companies which are started with a minimum number of 7 members, and the maximum membership is unlimited. They are also started with a minimum number of directors, which is 3, and their liability is limited. Now, in such kind of companies, that is in public companies, the transferability of shares is allowed. Whereas in private companies, the minimum membership is 2 and the maximum membership is limited to 50. In private companies, you can have 2 directors, and here also the liability is limited. But in private companies, the transferability of shares is not possible. Also, in private companies, the name of the company should end with the words private limited. So, we'll not go into detail about the different types of companies, but I guess you must be knowing what a government company is, non government company is, holding company, subsidiary company, companies limited by shares, companies limited by guarantee. Companies with unlimited liability is not to be seen much, because the government does not allow such companies to exist. Then foreign company, multinational companies, section 25 companies are non-profit making companies. All right. So now we move on to the next topic, which is the documents required for a joint stock company to open a bank account. For opening a bank account, generally the following documents are required. First and foremost, the company should obtain an account opening form, and along with the account opening form, they should obtain the specimen signature card. The documents that they are required to submit to the bank are the memorandum of association of the company. Memorandum of association is also known as MOA, and the MOA depicts the constitution of the company. The MOA contains particulars regarding the name of the company, the object of the company, the situation or the location of the company, the liability of the company, capital of the company, and association clause of the company. Along with the MOA, the company has got to submit its articles of association, or the AOA. AOA refers to the bylaws of the company or the rules and regulations of the company. Now, in addition to that, the company has got to provide the certificate of incorporation, which is the registration certificate, and a certificate of commencement of business. This is applicable majorly for public companies, the certificate of commencement of business, and also a certified copy of the resolution of board of directors is required, which signifies that the bank has been appointed as the banker for the company. Along with all these things, the bank has to specify the names of the company's officials who shall operate the account. The company should also provide a list of directors of the company along with their names, addresses, and signature of the chairman. Now, this information has to be updated with the bank every year. And also, the company is required to submit a copy of the latest audited profit and loss account and balance sheet. Here it must be noted that all these documents must be certified either by the chairman or the managing director or the manager or the company secretary of the company. After the bank receives these documents, which is the account opening form and various other documents which is required to be submitted, the banks go carefully through all these MOA and AOA and all other certificates, and they try to understand the regulations relating to drawing of negotiable instruments, endorsing of negotiable instruments, execution of deeds, powers of directors, how the bank account will be conducted. All these things the bank has got to become conversant with. Now, why is this important? This is important because sometimes a company has got an implied power to borrow money. Implied power means it is without having to state in the memorandum of association itself, the company can borrow the money. Whereas in the case of certain other companies, the borrowing power must be specifically stated in the memorandum of association. For this, I'll give you an example. A trading company generally has an implied power to borrow money. So even if the MOA is silent about this matter, the company can go ahead and borrow money. But in the case of a non trading company, the borrowing power must be specifically stated in the memorandum of association. So, therefore, it becomes imperative for the bank to understand how exactly the what is the nature of the company and how exactly they should deal with the company's activities. Now, while a private limited company can exercise borrowing powers from the date of its incorporation, a public company cannot exercise these powers until it receives the certificate of commencement of business from the registrar of companies. Now, this is also a point to be noted by the bank, and accordingly, the bank should allow the company to operate its account. The bank should also consider the board resolution which empowers the company to borrow. Now, in the board resolution, information will be given about the names of director, secretary, or any other person who is authorized to borrow on behalf of the company. The board resolution may also specify the maximum amount up to which the borrowing is allowed. Similarly, details of security may be provided in the resolution. Also, any other condition can be stipulated in the resolution. So the bank has to go through this board resolution because that will determine how the company is going to conduct its account and operate its account. To make a company liable on a negotiable instrument, the negotiable instrument must appear to be drawn on behalf of the company. Thus, when a person signs a negotiable instrument in a manner where there is no indication that it is signed on behalf of the company, then that person shall be held to be personally liable. So, this is another thing that the bank has to take into consideration. Only if the negotiable instrument is signed on behalf of the company can the company be made liable. In all other cases, the person who has signed in his personal capacity will be held liable. And the usual form of signature in the case of a company account would be the signature would be put after the name of the company. For example, it will be given as for X Electronics Limited, Ashish Rajpal, Secretary. So this is the way the signature is put. The name of the company is first mentioned. Below that, the person who is authorized to sign the negotiable instrument, his or her name is mentioned, and the designation is mentioned below the name of the person, and then the signature is affixed on the negotiable instrument. So these are the things that the bank has to consider while opening an account for a joint stock company.